Hello my friends. My name is Bot Mathematician and this is Holomancer.
Also, Chief Investigative Reporter Dora joined us this evening.
Gadgets and Gazette always gets the scoop.
It's time to celebrate Hearthstone's 10th anniversary. The new Whizbang's Workshop expansion takes us on a nostalgic journey through iconic moments of the game.
Today we will discuss all the nuances and innovations of the new set, calculate the benefits of purchasing pre-orders and give advice on opening the optimal number of packs. Unfortunately, this time, in addition to a lot of positive things, the Hearthstone team has prepared for us several sad and controversial decisions.
Let me start with the plot. The genius inventor and toymaker Whizbang has opened the doors to his magical workshop, and all of Azeroth's invited. This place is teeming with plushies, miniatures, board games, toy machines and a variety of entertainment. A similar toy shop is located in Dalaran and is called the Wonderworks Toy Shop. The owner of the store is toymaker Geppetto Joybuzz, well known to Hearthstone fans. By the way, he will also return in this expansion. Despite the similarities, we are not sure that Whizbang's workshop and Wonderworks are the same place. We don't know anything about Whizbang the Wonderful since he is an original Hearthstone character who first appeared in the Boomsday Project expansion. Thanks to its unique effect, the card has become without exaggeration, iconic. Players have been asking for the card to return to standard as part of the core set for years.
Traditionally, the first expansion of the year comes out in April, but this time the developers moved the release to March to synchronize with the 10th anniversary.
Whizbang's Workshop is Hearthstone's 26th expansion. The set consists of 145 collectible cards, 27 of which are legendary. In addition, the developers have prepared 48 incollectible tokens. There are even more new cards awaiting us. The developers have added 4 new Warcraft Rumble-themed cards that will become part of the core set. These cards have signature versions that, most likely, can be purchased in the store. The toy store is riddled with so many memories. Old heroes return in a new form with new amazing effects. If you were sad without Shutterwalk, Khadgar, Dr. Boom and many other characters, this new set is for you. In addition, the add-on contains components of cult strategies. Jade Druid, Pirate Rogue, Battlecry Shaman, Raza Priest, Patron Warrior and other canonical strategies with new nuances and features can return the standard metagame and even shake up the wild format.
10 legendary cards from Whizbang's workshop will receive signature versions. Dr. Boom began experimenting on the expansion's characters and turning them into robots. This is the main theme of alternative art.
The main mechanic is the new keyword miniaturize. Whenever a card with miniaturize is played, a 1-mana version with 1/1 stats of that card is added to the player's hand. This mechanic allows you to use the card effect twice.
Another unique feature of the expansion is Ziliax Deluxe 3000. It's the first Hearthstone card that you can customize to suit your own needs. When you add Ziliax to your deck, you pick 2 different upgrade modules, out of 8. The final result will have a combined mana cost, stats and effects of both modules you picked. This way there are a total of 28 possible combinations. You will also get the opportunity to choose one of 8 skins for your unique Ziliax. Thanks to its flexible configuration, the card can become an extremely important tool in both aggro and control archetypes or become part of a combo strategy. The developers continue to expand the capabilities of Hearthstone cards and it is truly incredible.
The new expansion tries to fill some gaps among mechanics for new classes. So, for example, the Death Knight and Demon Hunter received their own spellstones. These are special spells that transform into improved versions when certain conditions are met. These cards were a feature of the Kobolds and Catacombs add-on. In addition, the Death Knight received his first hero card. The Headless Horseman has been a behind-the-scenes character of Hearthstone and a Halloween icon since 2018. He had already become a bartender on the battlefields, but never before had he had his own card. Nemsi deserves special attention. This little gnome has been a cult hero of the game for many years. She was first seen in the Art of Fen Creeper, then became a separate hero as a skin for the Warlock. Nemsi has played the role of a skin very often and was even one of the heroes of the Mercenaries mode, but she has never played the role of a traditional Hearthstone card. The Whizbang's Workshop expansion corrects this misunderstanding. The new extension hides a huge number of nuances. We drew your attention only to the most noticeable ones.
Unfortunately, the lack of changes has become traditional for the rewards track. As always, you will have the opportunity to get packs, random legendary cards and golden versions of cards as well as gold. The total amount of free rewards has not changed.
The rewards track allows us to measure our community's level of engagement with Hearthstone. According to our calculations, our subscribers spend a record amount of time in the first 2 expansions of this year. The Titans expansion may be considered the best in recent years. Dear friends, please help us update these statistics with data for the Badlands expansion.
To do this, write in the comments your current level on the rewards track and, if possible, the percentage of completed gameplay achievements for the Badlands expansion.
Thank you so much, and now let's move on to the next fact. To complete the main 100 levels of the track with various rewards, you only need to complete tasks once a week.
If you want to collect 20,500 gold and conquer all 400 levels, you will have to spend 8 hours in competitive format every day, provided that your win rate is 50% and you complete at least 35% of the gameplay achievements. If you purchase the Tavern Pass, you will need to spend 6 hours each day, provided that the new expansion phase continues 17 weeks.
Unlike the free rewards track, the paid Tavern Pass continues to slowly evolve. But for unknown reasons, Blizzard chooses to ignore its own innovations. Only very attentive players are able to spot the differences. So, for example, we supplemented the official image with important missing elements. In addition to 11 portraits, an experience boost and a diamond card, players will receive a golden version of Colafero the artist. This card is just a nice bonus, but ignoring a large number of additional epic cards is a shame for marketers. Players will receive 2 golden copies of Playhouse Giant plus 2 signature versions of Watercolor Artist and Corridor Sleeper. Thus, the player will receive a total of 6 epic cards. The presence of a reroll system will allow Tavern Pass holders to collect a collection of epic cards much faster and a little cheaper. You should definitely pay attention to this option in the store, as the benefits of purchasing have increased slightly again.
The pool of free skins for reaching level 100 on the reward track and the total number of levels on the track for all time has been significantly expanded. This time we received 10 new skins for 5 old classes. Now each class has 2 skins in each category, and only Death Knight is still the only class that has 1 skin.
Blizzard made a small update to classes. So, for example, Wrath of Air Totem was returned to the Shaman Hero Power Pool and Strength Totem was removed. The changes also affected Paladin. Now, whenever you summon a Silver Hand recruit, it will be one of 7 different art pieces. The developers have preserved the original design and added 6 new alternative skins. While mining data, we managed to find a mention of a new mini-set. This means that in the middle of the expansion phase we will see the release of an additional 37 cards for the Whizbang's Workshop set. Traditionally, you can get all new cards by spending 2,000 gold or $15. For this reason, you should plan your expenses.
Catch-up packs are back, but in a slightly different form. The player can still receive from 5 to 50 cards depending on the size of their collection, but now you can only receive cards from the previous 3 expansions. This is very important news, but we have not received any information about how to obtain these packs. Perhaps they will appear in the store for purchase or will be available only to new players. The only thing we can say with certainty is that catch-up packs will not be part of the first post-release event, which will take place on March 26th. Although during a similar event in Badlands we received catch-up packs as a reward. This time, players can get 5 standard packs, 2 Whizbang's Workshop packs, and the Bauble Mal'Ganis Warlock Hero skin.
It's time for a very sad fact. Diamond cards are no longer available to players for free. In Whizbang's Workshop, you will no longer receive a diamond card for obtaining 27 legendary cards, but instead players will receive 2 low rarity signature cards.
Starting with this expansion, diamond cards become exclusively paid cosmetics. We are very saddened by this innovation for 2 reasons. First of all, the diamond card was a great incentive for collecting a wide collection of cards. But the second feature is even more important. The presence of the diamond card combined with the reroll system made obtaining a full collection cheaper, at least for active or premium players. Signature cards of low rarity are not an equal reward. Thus, a very important award was taken away from the most loyal and active players right during the 10th anniversary celebration.
In our opinion, this terrible decision has no logic or strategic justification, since the consequence may be that some players will refuse to collect a wide collection of legendary cards due to the lack of a worthy reward and thus spend less money.
Let's talk about another extremely controversial fact. For the first time in several years, the developers did not present a roadmap for Hearthstone. The only thing we have is a preview of this year's new expansions. It seems that the developers are not planning any significant innovations this year besides the release of a cooperative mode for Battlegrounds.
I have a feeling that nothing new awaits us besides regular content, although the team that worked on Mercenaries stopped working on the mode over a year ago and we were really hoping to see new solo content or something completely new from them. Also, we expected to receive some kind of backstage video or animated short on the day of the game's 10th anniversary, but this did not happen. The lack of dialogue with the developers is very alarming.
Let's continue our conversation with another very sad fact. 4 months ago we talked about the removal of Fireside Gathering from the game client. This time we have to say goodbye to Duels mode, which failed to leave the beta testing stage. The mode will be completely removed in April, and for this reason it will not receive any content updates with the release of the new expansion. We had hoped that the developers would change their decision, but over the past 2 months we have not received any new comments. Duels has never been my main mode, but I've been spending the last few days mostly playing Duels and having a lot of fun. Dear viewer, don't miss the last opportunity to make a few runs.
Before we continue, we want to welcome our new patron Lifa.
Also a huge thank you to our loyal sponsors. Dear friends, your help is invaluable. We do everything possible to make our videos unique and useful.
We will be grateful for any support. Your hits on the bell icons and like button, comments, subscription to the channel and of course sponsorship motivate us and provide the opportunity to create more new content.
Thank you for your activity, and now let's continue. It's time to talk about pre-orders. Once again, we'll have 2 different pre-order bundles for $50 and $80. Unfortunately, this time the benefits of purchasing are not as huge as in Badlands since these offers no longer contain catch-up packs. And it's a little sad, since these offers provided a ton of benefits for new and returning players.
Let's look at the benefits of purchasing pre-orders. We've started updating our table with the full history of Hearthstone pre-orders to make it clearer and take more factors into account. If you take into account the rewards on the rewards track that are directly related to each expansion and add to this the reward for login, then you need to open approximately 235 packs to get the full collection of cards, assuming you disenchant the extra copies into dust to create the missing legendary tools. This is the maximum possible number of packs you should open. In general, the new expansion bundles are significantly better than the Titans but worse than the Badlands pre-orders. 2 epic copies of Corridor Sleeper creates additional value for this offer. Every dollar you invest will bring you resources that will be equivalent to 1.5 packs. You should pay special attention to the regular bundle for $50 as it will allow you to get 31% of the full collection. This value is slightly higher than usual. The Mega Bundle will allow you to collect 49% of the full collection. It's not the most generous offer in history, but it's certainly not the worst.
Despite the fact that early access to cards itself does not affect the cost of the collection, this gives pre-order holders an unprecedented advantage. Early access to certain cards is being introduced for the first time and is completely inconsistent with the original ideology of the game. We understand Blizzard's motives. Using such a manipulative method, they are trying to increase the number of early pre-orders, but according to indirect data they have not succeeded. According to a survey on our community tab, even players who periodically buy pre-orders didn't like the idea of getting an advantage for money. This is another big mistake by the Hearthstone team.
We have very mixed feelings. On the one hand, we could potentially get another very good expansion that will have an impact on the wild format.
We're very excited about the arrival of Battlegrounds co-op mode. The developers put a lot of effort into creating regular content, they push the boundaries of Hearthstone and they managed to surprise us. But at the same time, all these efforts are offset by clumsy and very strange decisions that have no logic.
Early access to the card in pre-orders, removal of the Duels mode, complete lack of dialogue with players, lack of a roadmap, removal of the diamond card as a reward, and this is not a complete list of destructive decisions. All this is not critical and overall has a minimal impact on the gameplay, but the totality really spoils the impression of the new expansion. Perhaps there is a saboteur working among the developers who is trying to ruin the efforts of the entire team?
We can't wait to hear your thoughts.
What innovations do you think are the best and worst? Are you disappointed that the diamond card has disappeared from the legendary collection rewards?
Share your thoughts in the comments and join the polls in the community tab. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for spending this time with us. We really hope that we will have the opportunity to get in touch in the next video.
Take care of yourself.
And never give up.
Job's done.